Step 4. Looking for language. The Old English poets were said to have a word hoard from which they could choose the best language to shape their poems. How great it would be to throw open a closet door and find just the right word for just the right writing task. Where do such words come from? They come from a life of reading and study of the craft, from the daily experiences of language, from travel, from dictionaries, and from the research required to gather not just raw data, but the ideas, images, and keywords necessary to understand a group of people or a field of study. Step 5, building a draft. It is never easy to know when it's time to sit down at your keyboard to create a first draft. The writer often feels resistance at this stage, expressed as writer's block or procrastination. The writing will begin to flow if the writer has attended to the earlier steps. W.H. Auden once described a poem as a, quote, verbal contraption with a person, a guiding intelligence hiding inside. All texts are constructed, often from a blueprint or plan, erecting an architecture of meaning and purpose. The writer must decide on a sequence, what goes first in a work and what goes last. A haiku has 3 lines. A legal brief builds an argument. Shakespeare wrote plays in 5 acts and sonnets in 14 lines. Each part of the work carries a special power, magnified when the writer creates an effective structure for the whole. Step 6. Assessing your progress. When writers talk to teachers or editors, they often blurt blurry language to mask the one key question that concerns them, which is, how am I doing? As a coach, my version of that question as I approach a writer is, how is it going? Everyone wants a progress report, calibrated against different goals and criteria. The writer makes preliminary judgments about the current quality of the work and how much time and energy are left to improve it. The writer can reach conclusions on his own, but often benefits from an intervention. When Donald Murray was asked how the day's writing had gone, he had 2 reliable answers, both framed in the affirmative. He could respond by quantity. I produced 10 pages before lunch, or, if necessary, by quality. I wrote 1 really great sentence this morning. Step 7. Making it better. Completing a draft of a text can be such hard work that the writer may be charmed by the illusion that the job is almost finished. But the process does not stop there. The final problem for the writer is how and what to revise, what to delete, what to insert. It is during revision that the writer will refine, polish, and perfect a work that can never be perfect, but can grow and become good enough to fulfill the writer's purpose. Key to a successful endgame is to leave time and energy for revision, the way a long-distance runner saves energy for a sprint to the finish line. Let's review those 7 steps. Get started. Get your act together. Find focus. Look for language. Build a draft. Assess your progress. Make it better. If those 7 phrases represent the writer's largest and most imposing tasks, the effort to complete them can be stymied by a set of pesky problems. Those problems have influenced the structure of this audio program, Help. Each chapter begins with an explanation of one stage of the writing process. At each stage, you will encounter 3 of the most persistent and difficult obstacles to completing that task, a total